Hey, what's going on, guys? What's happening? YouTube, you guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels. If you watch the channel, recently we've been talking a lot about supply chain shortages, logistical challenges, labor shortages, and we got another one of these stories for you guys today. FedEx is rerouting more than 600,000 packages a day because of labor shortages, and it doesn't look like this is going to get any better. This is going to affect each and every one of you. Any of you guys who order products online are going to be affected. Shit, even if you don't order products online, the entire supply chain channel has pretty much been disrupted. So even if you shop at brick and mortar stores, if they get FedEx deliveries, USPS deliveries, UPS or DH deliveries, that's going to be affected. Let me know from those of you guys who run e-commerce businesses, what types of problems or challenges have you faced because of this? Obviously, the cost of containers from China has gone from like $2,000 a container to more than $16,000 per container. So, if you are fortunate to even be able to get anything from China or AliExpress, Alibaba suppliers, it's likely going to be costing you substantially more in shipping. And not just that, but even domestically here. I don't know about you guys, but with my e-commerce shop as well as some Shopify stores that I run and manage for clients, shipping has been a nightmare. USPS delivery times are taking forever. A lot of packages are just lost in sorting facilities. A lot of packages are showing delivered on tracking, but customers are saying they didn't get the packages. Uh, UPS and FedEx shipments seem to be delayed. And basically, what's going on with FedEx, over 600,000 packages a day are basically having to go out of their way, travel further because the sorting facilities that they should be going to don't have enough workers to process all of these packages. Just in terms of other labor shortages we're seeing in the news before we kind of dive deeper into this story. So I saw in the UK right now they have a huge gas shortage, and I guess that's because of a shortage of truck drivers to move the petrol around. In the UK, I believe they're right now training the military to drive fuel trucks to actually kind of move fuel around. Let's see, what else do we got? I think there's going to be a turkey shortage in the UK and England for Thanksgiving and Christmas. The entire Q4 is going to be a nightmare. Like I said, we're already experiencing problems right now. The labor shortages are only going to get worse. The supply chain bottlenecks are only going to get worse, and we're not even into peak holiday season, peak shopping season. E-commerce and really like a lot of ordering online and things like that tends to slow down in the summertime. Hence, Amazon creating Prime Day to kind of drum up some business. So this is kind of a slow time right now. We're coming out of a slow time, and we're already having problems. So again, it's only going to get worse as we get into the holiday season. In New Jersey, we got the National Guard being called in to drive school buses. Here in my hometown of Chicago, Mayor Lori Lightfoot is trying to get Uber and Lyft to drive kids to school. We got shortages of hospital workers and teachers at a time when they're planning on firing a bunch of them for refusing to get vaccinated, which is only going to make the problem worse. I think New York's new governor, I forget her name, the one who took over for Cuomo, she is trying to get the National Guard to come in and work hospitals, which seems like it's going to be a disaster. Although we already are starting to see a lot of hospitals and really all businesses across the board do away with their vaccine mandates. A lot of hospitals who had demanded that people be vaccinated by early September, late September, have pushed the date back to December or January because they realize their entire system is going to collapse if people start leaving or they start firing people. And some of these businesses have actually gotten rid of their mandates entirely. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting fall and winter here. Again, let me know for those of you guys who run e-commerce businesses, what types of challenges are you facing with problems with FedEx, UPS, etc. One thing I've noticed is starting to take up a lot more time of our customer service teams in terms of having customers call up, hey, my tracking shows delivered, but I didn't get my package. Hey, I live in Sacramento, but my package is showing delivered in Los Angeles. It's just it's adding an extra toll and adding more work for customer service representatives, customer service teams, e-commerce business owners, kind of dealing with all the fallout from the nightmare that is the shipping system right now. If any of you guys work for or have family who work for or know anything about the inside workings of UPS, I'd love to hear about that. My girlfriend used to work for UPS. I had a couple buddies who worked for UPS. UPS historically and notoriously, they don't hire anybody for full-time work. Everybody's brought on as a part-time employee and a package handler. The job pays $10 an hour, even though you're working outside in the blistering cold, unloading, dirty trucks. Typically, people will go in, a lot of times it's like shitty shifts. So, like, you'll start at like midnight or 1 in the morning. You may get 2 hours, you may get 6 hours, but you're always sent home at 6 hours. You never get full time. The reason people take these jobs is because UPS, at least at one time, had a fairly strong union. So your job was safe. They had decent health insurance and benefits. I believe they did tuition reimbursement. And if you don't have any skills or don't have an education, being a UPS driver is actually a pretty decent job, pays pretty well, has good benefits, and you'll wind up walking away with a pension. So a lot of people, even though the pay is shitty and the job kind of sucks, to get in the door and become a UPS driver, a lot of people will work in the warehouses. Well, we're seeing across the country, across different industries and across different businesses, people are offering signing bonuses and more pay. Amazon recently started offering a $3,000 signing bonus and $18 an hour as opposed to their normal $15 an hour. McDonald's across the country are offering $1,000 signing bonuses. So I'd be curious for anybody who has any insights to UPS. Is UPS still offering $10 an hour and part-time? Or due to these shortages, are they giving people as many hours as they want and improving the pay or even offering signing bonuses? I'd love to hear about that. But if they haven't done that, it's no surprise that they, like everybody else and probably even worse, are experiencing a lot of these supply chain issues. I've been noticing this myself, not only hiring signs all over the place, not only seeing signing bonuses. I think I mentioned the other day, I saw Wendy's that was offering a $300 signing bonus. But this past weekend, I went to an apple orchard with some friends to pick some apples and get some apple cider donuts. And after that, we wound up stopping by a Culver's. Now, I ordered my food. It took about 15 minutes to get my food. I eventually had to flag down to do it because my food was just sitting on the counter behind getting cold. Me and my girlfriend went outside onto the patio and started eating. And I kid you not, it took about 30 minutes for her brother and sister-in-law to wind up getting their food. And you really couldn't be mad at anybody. There were like two people working at this Culver's. One of my previous business partners used to own a Culver's, and so I spent a fair amount of time in there. And they normally have a pretty large staff working, and this Culver's had like literally 2 or 3 people working. So you can't be mad at them for things being so slow. But man, it was just absolutely terrible. And this labor shortage kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? The labor shortage is already bad, but now employers are asking more of their employees. They're asking them to work faster, to work more efficiently, to work harder. They're asking them to put in more hours. They're asking them to forego vacations, to skip days off because they need people. Well, what winds up happening then? Well, people wind up getting burnt out, and then they wind up quitting, which makes the labor shortage even worse on those existing employees, who even more of them quit. And when it comes to hiring people, who wants to go work at a place where you're going to be overworked, underpaid, and it's a super stressful environment? So it makes it harder to get new employees in as well. It's just a nightmare. Again, I think this holiday season is going to be really interesting. But without further ado, let's get into this article. So FedEx is rerouting more than 600,000 packages a day because of labor shortages. And again, this isn't getting any better. FedEx anticipates a similar level of headwinds in second quarter. Let's see, FedEx is rerouting hundreds of thousands of packages every day while it scrambles to cope with the labor shortage plaguing many businesses in the U.S. Chief Operating Officer Raj, I'm not even going to try to say his name, Subramian, said during an earnings call this week that there have been widespread inefficiencies in its operation due to constrained labor markets, which have ultimately forced the company to divert packages. There are more than 600,000 packages a day being rerouted across the entire FedEx ground network, according to Subramian. Subramian pointed to the company's Portland, Oregon hub as an example, saying it's running on 65% of staffing needed to handle its normal volume. And again, this is a slow period of the year. Let's see. As a result, the hub is diverting 25% of the package volume that normally goes through the hub because it can't be efficiently processed. In this case, the packages must be rerouted and processed, which drives inefficiencies in our operations and in turn higher costs. So, if a package is supposed to go through a sorting facility in Chicago, but there's nobody in Chicago, that package may have to go to Mississippi just to turn around and go to Seattle or something like that. And I don't know if you guys have been noticing this. I haven't been able to make much sense of it, but I have been noticing, there's USPS packages that are going to the wrong cities, but a lot of times a package that's going to Seattle from Chicago may wind up in Florida before turning around and going back to Seattle. So I'm guessing USPS is wrestling with this as well. Back into the article, these inefficiencies, including adding incremental line haul and delivery routes, meaning more miles driven and higher use of third-party transportation to enable us to bypass Portland entirely, and that's just one example, Subramium said. FedEx anticipates a similar level of headwinds in the second quarter, according to FedEx Chief Financial Officer Mike Lenz. The challenges and impacts to our operations from the labor shortages are expected to persist in the rest of the calendar year of 2021. So again, this isn't getting any better anytime this year. Let's check out some comments. I always like reading the comments. Just a couple of these. I cringe whenever I order something and then realize it's being shipped by FedEx. They are late much more often than not, usually days late. The tracking will say potentially delayed when it's days after the scheduled delivery. Federal subsidized unemployment permitted many, as we know, to far out earn what they normally would. This was the creator. My thoughts are some, not all of these labor shortages claims are manufactured, as many firms simply refuse to pay the wages that some seek or need to pay as a new potential norm. It's hard to expect someone to work for less than they can get for sitting around doing whatever they want. See, I recently had a FedEx package delivered to my house by FedEx with signature required. The driver left it out at the end of my driveway on top of my mailbox post by a public street. The tracking system said it was signed for with my name. The driver just signed for me and dropped it off. It clearly was forged. I filed a complaint, which was all but pointless. And here's a little tip about FedEx. Here's something I used to ship with FedEx almost exclusively. And I think somebody kind of commented on this in this article. So anything that goes by FedEx ground is not actually being delivered by a FedEx driver. There are third-party companies or independent people like you and I who buy FedEx routes. Some of them will drive an actual FedEx truck, but a lot of them will have like an enterprise rent-a-car van or something like that, or just their own Sprinter vans, and they get paid like per package to do deliveries. So you don't actually have a FedEx employee delivering your package. It's a third-party delivery company. If you order something or if you ship something FedEx Express, then it's actually, at least typically, it might be different now that they're having these shortages, but traditionally anything FedEx Express would actually be delivered by an actual FedEx employee. Let's see, the reason FedEx drops shipments wrong is the contracted drivers don't look at the address. They have a Google ran computer system that tells them where to stop. I've had more problems with FedEx and USPS this past year. That's saying a lot. I can't say the same. USPS employees can't seem to deliver a package to the right address. Most of the recent time it happened to me, it took a week before I finally got my package. The person to whom it was delivered didn't check their mail for a week, and it took USPS investigation that long to find out. Let's see. This is how Rome fell, when the people realized they could make more money on welfare than working. All that free money and time off permanently. Okay, so yeah, that's a story. That's all I got for you guys today. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. Let me know, for those of you guys who run e-commerce businesses, what types of problems or customer service challenges are these, what do we want to call it, logistical problems causing for your business? Drop a comment down below. Tell us about it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below and ring the bell. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. That's all I got for you guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.